Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another Dead City Season 2 spoiler review. And, well, as you can see by the thumbnail, holy shit, a bear. Yes, this is a real image of the episode. I'm usually to I tried not to find some kind of thumbnail that wasn't gonna spoil I, this episode or something that was gonna happen in the episode, but I had one for Maggie that I was gonna use, but I don't know. I saw the bear and I just had to use it like, holy shit, a bear, what the fuck? Like the thumbnail says. So that is a little bit of a spoiler. So like I just had to share it. And by the way, I'm sure this shot of the bear was probably in the trailer for season 2, but guess what? For something that I'm excited for, I do not watch the trailer. So this was a fantastic surprise for me because I didn't know this was coming until the episode tonight. So it made this moment a hell of a lot better. And there's a debate on if this is a normal bear. We'll kind of get into it. So we're going to get into what's happening with Maggie, Armstrong, Herschel, Jenny, and Bruegel, and what his intentions are. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find all that out, and the aftermath of Negan, Croat, Dama. We're gonna find out all that. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And I know I said I was going to have to wait till Monday night to get this done. But however, I said, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and get it done now. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning right now at the time of this recording. But what happened was why I couldn't watch. See, I watched pretty much all of this episode except for 20 some minutes of it because we had a severe thunderstorm warning and it messed up my cable and I couldn't finish the episode. But luckily, I just got done watching a rerun of. So I watched up to a certain part, and then this certain part that I had seen, I didn't see past what was going to happen. So I don't. This will be uploaded a little bit later than normal on Monday, but I will definitely be getting this out on Monday for sure. So yeah, I hope all of you are safe and doing good. And like always, if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment to tell me what you thought about this episode. And if you aren't subscribed already, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. And if you want to share the video, that would be great too. And if you do any of those things, that would be very much appreciated. So, if you have not seen the episode and you don't want to know anything other than the spoiler thumbnail, I just couldn't pass the opportunity up. This is a badass thumbnail. I couldn't pass the opportunity. Like, holy shit. How many times are we going to see a fucking bear in anything that is The Walking Dead, okay? So I was about to give it to Maggie, but I was like, nah, I gotta give it to the bear. I absolutely have to. So anyway, if you are not caught up and you don't want to know anything else, this is the time to go ahead and click off the video and watch the episode and come back if you would like to. Or if you have seen the episode or if you just don't care about spoilers, you may stick around if you like to. And if you are clicking off now, I do thank you for your time and for your continued support, and I'll catch you next time. Now, for those that are sticking around with me, let's go ahead and get into the Walking Dead City Season 2, Episode 6, Bridge Partners Are Hard to Come By These Days, spoiler review in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we are going to find out the Dama's fate, and yeah, the Dama is 100% dead, yep. Because we do get to see her burnt up body, all but confirming that, yeah, the Dama is done for, that's it. We thought there was maybe a slight chance that she could have gotten saved, but no, they wanted to make sure to show her burnt up body to confirm that she is absolutely 100% dead. So that's it for the Dama, which I kind of figured after what happened, but they wanted to confirm it for sure. So, while Maggie, Armstrong, Herschel, and Jenny remain cautious as to Bruegel's intentions, Negan finds himself taking over the Dama's crew after her death. Interesting enough, I thought it was going to be Croat, but no. Negan ends up taking over leadership. And Negan's life comes full circle, forced to make a difficult decision about the Croat, as Maggie struggles to keep Herschel protected from the Dama's control. So the episode starts with Bruegel and his men escorting Maggie, Armstrong, Herschel, Jenny back to the museum because they had found them in the previous episode. And one of, as Bruegel and his men are leading all of them back, next thing you know, there's one of the Bruegel's people that is just standing guard and watching, and then next thing you know, she gets grabbed and drugged away. At the time, we don't know if that's just a walker or what. Well, obviously, it's the fucking bear that did that, but at the beginning of the episode, you don't know what did that, or if it was just a really strong walker. Nah, it was that bear. Oh yeah. So we got the Croat versus Negan. So after that, we get to Croat and Negan, and he explains how the Dama toppled over the candles. That's his version of it, by the way, at first. He explains how the Dama toppled over the curtains and caught on fire, and he says that, I couldn't have saved her without endangering myself. So yeah, the Dama is done and dusted. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dama. Which I'm surprised that I'm surprised that Benjamin outlived the Dama, which we will get to. Benjamin finally makes another appearance, which I was surprised about. But anyway, okay. Now that the Dama is dead, the Croat is allowing Negan to do as he pleases. However, Negan can't help but feel sorry for him, as much as he wants to protect his wife and child, who are a day away. He knows he can't leave the Croat behind, which I was surprised. I was surprised that the Croat was going to honor Dama's deal. I thought he was going to make it extremely tough, for Negan to be able to get, about bringing his wife and child, all that, right? I thought the Croat was going to make it extremely hard, and he was going to insist on taking over, but nope, Negan ends up taking over, which I was surprised by that. So devastated by Dama's death, the Croat desperately clings to Negan with desires of going back home to Croatia, while the two talk at the cathedral, which was St. Patrick's Cathedral the entire time, where the methane is located. The Croat realizes, by the way, that the rat was killed and its guts of blood is on the bottom of Negan's boot, because how there's one scene where Negan has he's sitting down and he kind of has his foot up, and Croat is looking just like he looks at Negan's boot, and then he looks away and does a double take and sees that there's blood on Negan's boot, and then that's when he realizes, that's when he clicks it, pieces it together, that Negan in fact killed that rat to stir up inside drama, which successfully worked because Dama is fucking dead, right? So, okay, so yeah, Croat realizes that Negan killed the rat, and that, once he killed the rat, which prompted the fight and then Dama's death, like I was explaining. So the two of them fight before the group. Croat grabs Negan's bat. At first, he surprises him, but eventually, Negan unsurprisingly gets the upper hand, coming to terms that he made the Croat who he is. Negan spares his life, forcing the Croat to leave. The two share a conversation about Negan's past and how victory is often written by the victors. Negan allows Benjamin to leave. Okay, because a little bit later in the episode, Negan is down in the cells and he hears a noise, and he looks at one of the he looks down toward one of the deeper parts of the basement, where there's a door, and well, what do you know, Dama left Benjamin down there because of how he revealed that information about how Dama bit that critic back in the day. And should see, by the way, like Dama left a hell of a bite mark on Croat's hand, by the way. It's like, damn, that looked painful. Like she was trying to bite his damn finger off, but I mean, considering he still has all of his fingers. But anyway, so Negan, pretty much he finds him. He's like, holy shit, I can't believe you're down here. Like, and that's when Benjamin tells him, yeah, Dama's punishing me for revealing her backstory. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. So Negan actually allows Benjamin to leave if he wishes to. However, the young man is unsure how to return home. So we don't really see Benjamin again after that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Bruegel's offer. While all this is happening, Maggie, Armstrong, Herschel, and Jenny are taken to the metro to the museum, taken to the museum by Bruegel. After they are brought inside, one woman stands guard, but this is okay, never mind. That's what I talked about earlier. Yeah, that one woman was standing guard where she gets dragged and pulled by the bear. So yeah, I kind of jumped ahead a little bit on that. But okay, so yeah, the woman stands guard, but is killed by someone or something off screen. The group remains cautious of Bruegel, considering he was last seen working with the Croat and Negan, but to their surprise, he decides to make them an offer of methane in exchange for the Croat and Negan. So I think this more so confirms that Bruegel set Christos set up Christos and his people to be killed because Bruegel, he's on a power trip. He wants Manhattan for all for himself. He wants the methane for all for himself and his people. And he's on a hell of a power trip. And that started with him getting rid of old bad blood with Christos and all of his people. And even if he's got to turn on Negan and Croat to get the methane in Manhattan all for himself, he will do that. I think that more than confirms that, yeah, Christos and his people were definitely set up by Bruegel as a part to get control of Manhattan, which, I mean, we'll see if this is the direction that they go, but I truly believe by the end of season 2, Bruegel will definitely, he will just swoop in and Manhattan will be all his. And it seems like they might be making a season 3, and if they do, Bruegel will then be the main villain for season 3. So I don't think Bruegel is going to die. Not yet, not in this season. So we'll see. Okay, so next up, being an opportunist, Bruegel's chance of ruling all of Manhattan is within reach. He allows the group to think about it, which immediately places Maggie and Armstrong at odds with each other. Armstrong sees the methane as more valuable than the Croat and Negan's lives, whereas Maggie doesn't believe Negan should be killed. This sets off Herschel, nearly erasing all the progress he was making with his mother. So yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with Armstrong. I hope he comes to his senses because I did like him there toward the end of season 1, but you know, like I was saying in that one video with Bruegel versus Christos, I was saying I do not trust Bruegel, and none of them should trust Bruegel. No, not at all. And if Armstrong truly thinks he can trust if Armstrong truly thinks he can trust Bruegel, then Armstrong is a complete dumbass. If he does, he will be a dumbass, but we'll see if he does. Okay, so Armstrong sees. Alright, never mind, I read all that. Okay, 1 minute, alright. So much. Okay, so this sets off Herschel nearly erasing all the progress he was making with his mother. So much so that evening, Maggie catches Herschel nearly poisoning Bruegel's water supply. Yeah, so he goes up to one of these chained up walkers with the masks, with the knives on their faces, and he cuts one of their throats to get some walker blood, and that's what he was trying to do, but obviously Maggie catches him. But thankfully, boy, you better be glad your mother is the one that caught you and not one of Bruegel's people, because it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good. So yeah, so okay, we're gonna go back a little bit. So the woman that got grabbed by the bear, well, they end up finding her. Bruegel's people end up finding her, and oh my gosh, like, this is more evidence that it wasn't a walker, because half of her jaw is missing, and like, she's done. She's history. Because Bruegel, you know, this is cool. In his watch, Bruegel is wearing a watch, but in his watch, he's got a hidden blade that he just hits a little button or whatever, and it pops out, and that's like kind of cool. You wouldn't think about that though. You have a watch that has a hidden blade attachment to it. That is kind of cool. I will give the Bruegel that, but I absolutely would not trust him. None of these characters should trust Bruegel. Hell no. He got a whole group of people killed. He got a whole group of people framed and killed without even lifting a finger. So now, after Maggie finds Herschel trying to poison the water supply, Herschel, of course, runs off. He's all pissed off and, blah, blah, blah. Teenager, he's like, you're going to get what you want because Negan gets to live. And Maggie's like, where the hell do you think you're going, boy? He's like, I'm out of here. Well, we're gonna get to my favorite part of the episode right now. Oh shit, here we go. So Herschel is about to open that door and Maggie tries to grab him, but he pushes her away, and he opens that door, but he quickly pauses at the door and he sees that fucking bear. Oh, this might have been the best part of the whole episode. So he sees the bear and Maggie's like, what is it, right? And Maggie sees the bear and she's like, close that door, boy. You better close that door. He closes the door a little bit too late, and then the bear comes running at the door, and it's a big ass dent in the door. He ends up knocking the door down, and they're both running. Maggie tells Herschel to go in one direction. She goes in another direction. And this is where the debate comes in. This is where the debate comes in. Is this a normal bear? Or could this be a walker bear? Because when we get to see what the bear actually looks like, well, the bear is missing one eye. And looks like he's been through some shit. I wish I had a better picture here for the thumbnail, but if you've seen the episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have to say, the CGI on the bear, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. Oh man, this was my favorite part of the episode. Because Maggie goes into that same room where the walkers are, and she's yelling for help, and how none of the Bruegel's people don't hear all this. I don't know, but yeah. So she goes. Maggie's in the room, and Maggie separates from Herschel. She leads the bear away, trying to use Bruegel's walker warriors to distract or kill the bear so she can escape. But this is where holy shit, you think the walkers would be able to overwhelm the bear, right? Oh no. Oh hell no. Because that bear, he swipes one paw at one walker, the walker hits the wall, his head busts like a damn watermelon, one walker gets knocked over, the bear just simply presses one paw to the one walker on the ground, his head busts open like a watermelon. Another, he swipes another walker away, he goes flying. That's it for him. And the other walker, he just kind of just tears into the last walker like, oh my god, like how the hell is Maggie gonna get out of this realistically? Holy shit, I love this part of the episode. Oh man, I did get to see this part before the severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, so I had seen this, but everything after this I didn't get to see. Like I said, I saw most of the episode, and yeah. So Maggie's running and she tries to use the table to, she runs at one end of the table, but that bear just simply walks up to the table. Oh, this table, okay, I'll just simply just push it out the way like it's nothing. So Maggie comes face to face with the bear once again, trying to throw shit at the bear to try to kill it, but it's just like shit is just bouncing off the bear like it's nothing. And the bear is just getting more pissed off. And Maggie, like with no other alternative, she's about to go into hand to hand combat with the fucking bear. The next thing you know, somebody, Herschel throws one of the throwing knives, like you see in the thumbnail here, and it hits him in the head, but it pisses the walker or the bear off more. It might be a fucking walker bear, who fucking knows? It could be. I mean, who knows? Or it's just a really strong bear. But anyway, the throwing knife lands on its head there. It just pisses it off more, and then he throws another throwing knife that hits it in the nose this time, and Maggie, she crawls under a part of this gate, and once she does, the bear is so pissed off. The bear is so pissed off in the present moment of getting its prey, it doesn't think about going to the other side to get to Maggie very easily. So the bear thinks he can just go over the gate, but where he's just probably in so much pain from the throwing knives, he ends up falling down on part of the gate, and the gate just goes up through his chin, and that's it for the bear. I just love this little part. I think this was absolutely one of the best parts. It was my favorite part of the episode, just to see a bear. So pretty much Maggie and Herschel take down the bear, essentially. If Herschel wasn't there, I don't know, it wouldn't have been good for Maggie, I don't believe. But yeah, it was very interesting for sure. So Herschel aids in the fight, resulting in the bear dying. Like I said, he ends up trying to climb the gate, but he ends up falling, and part of the fence just goes up through his chin and, into his head, and that's it for the bear. So this allows Herschel, the little shit, to escape, taking to the Manhattan streets. Maggie ends up going after him, and well, Maggie ends up finding Negan, because Negan and what's left of the Dama's crew are all just so happen to be walking out of the cathedral, and there's Maggie face to face with Negan. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen here, right? Well, let's see. Yeah, so Maggie ends up going to Negan at the church asking for his help. So Negan believes that Herschel, excuse me, man, I just can't get over that bear showing up. Like, holy shit, I was pleasantly surprised, because I do not watch trailers for anything I am looking forward to, because they give too much away. And I guarantee you, this bear was in that fucking trailer. Ain't no way they didn't show that bear. The only trailers that I watch are for things that I just don't care about. So if I watch a trailer for anything, that means I don't give a shit about it. But if I'm actively looking forward to something, I don't watch the trailer. I want to go into it as blind as possible as I can. Anyway, Negan believes that Herschel went to the theater to find the Dama, but reassures Maggie that whatever hold she has on him won't matter anymore since she's dead. She burnt to death, he says. He asks about Jenny, how she's doing, to which Maggie reassures that she's doing well. How Maggie or anyone, okay, so there's a scene right before all of this where Jenny she's still dealing with that gash from the tree branch in the previous episode. And obviously, like, she's in the bathroom and the wound is not getting any fucking better, by the way. She doesn't let nobody know about it. Why? Who knows? Who knows? I believe that Jenny is a goner. Absolutely. We'll get more into that because there's a couple times where her side's hurting her, and there's like one time Maggie asks her, "Are you okay?" And then like not Maggie, but Jenny rather, she just brushes it off and says, "I'm just a little sore." Uh Hell yeah, you're sore. Well, you more than sore. You got a damn gash on your side. Like, holy shit. But yeah, that wound is not getting any better. So Jenny is in this bathroom at the museum, and she's like got wet rags and trying to clean and press the wound and keep pressure on it, all of that. And there's Maggie ends up going into the bathroom, but she doesn't really question why she's got wet rags and is at the sink. Like, okay, I don't know. Like, that would have been a reasonable thing to ask. Like, hey, why you got all these wet rags? Like, she doesn't even think to ask. I don't know. But anyway. I don't know. But anyway. Okay. So, yeah, Negan believes that Herschel. Alright, so now Negan allows himself to be transparent with Maggie, letting all defenses down and pleading with her, asking for advice as for what he should do with his family. Should he stay in New York or leave with them? And Maggie doesn't provide him with an answer. But this surprised me. But however, she warns him about the Bruegel's betrayal and leaves for the theater. So that was surprisingly nice for Maggie. I thought she would have been like, "Oh, okay, you murdered my husband. Fuck you, motherfucker." But no, she actually warns Negan that, hey, Bruegel's gonna try to kill you and the Croat, by the way. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay. So, here's something that I thought was gonna be a possibility. How Dama was pretty much forcing Negan to do her bidding because she's like, "Oh yeah, we have your wife and child, by the way." Here's one thing I thought was going to happen with that. I thought Dama was just bullshitting and just lying about, "Oh, we don't actually have your family. I just wanted to lie and blackmail you and manipulate you into doing my bidding." However, Dama actually kept her word because we get to a scene where Negan is looking out a window and he actually sees Annie and his son Joshua arrive the next morning. Negan watches them from the theater and then orders that they are sent back to Tennessee. He never gets to reunite with them, and so I guess it was enough that he got to see them. And I think part of why he sent them back is because he doesn't potentially want them to be in the crossfire to get to be hurt or killed. So, as difficult as that decision was, maybe that was the right choice for them because he doesn't potentially want them to get killed in whatever's going to end up happening. So I don't know if he will see them again or not. I mean, we'll find out. Yeah, while his decision is most difficult, his troubles are far from over when Jenny, later on in the episode, finds him and holds him at gunpoint. Like, okay, but you gotta remember, her wound is getting a whole lot fucking worse. And here she is, shit, her eyes are glazing and she looks pale as shit. Like, yeah. So unfazed by her action, almost expecting it, he nearly cries with joy seeing her again. Then, shortly after, she passes out in his arms, and upon further inspection, he finds her wound has gotten infected. That's why I say, yeah, I think Jenny is definitely a goner by the season finale. I think season, not season, I think episode 7, I think she's dead. I think she's goner. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just don't see how she's gonna make it to the finale. I just don't. If she does, that'll be some fucking suspending your disbelief. I don't know. We'll see, but I predict that Jenny is gonna be a death right before the finale. Even if it takes all of episode 7 to get there, I don't know. I don't see her making it out of season 2 at all. But we'll see. So, next up, Bruegel's final play. Little does anyone know, Armstrong is called to meet with Bruegel in his room, where he begins to play bridge as the sounds of a hungry walker, because yeah, we hear that, but like that couldn't have been his bodyguard. So we'll find out shortly who that is. So a hungry walker is heard from behind a curtain. Armstrong watches and declines Bruegel's previous offer. Annoyed, Bruegel keeps his composure, revealing how he enjoys playing the game more than achieving victory. Yeah, playing the game, cheating, getting the upper hand. So, this more and more confirms that he absolutely set Christos and his people up to be executed. If anybody thinks any different, I don't know what to tell you, but I absolutely believe that. I believe this episode put concrete into that idea that he 100% is on a power trip and he wanted to get rid of any future potential bad blood from Christos's group, so he can eventually take over Manhattan for himself and his group. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, Bruegel keeps his composure. Bruegel believes he can change Armstrong's mind when he confesses to know all about Armstrong's lie to New Babylon about Negan, because he says not Armstrong, but Bruegel rather, he says that you supposedly shot Negan, right? And like, Bruegel, like, how the hell does he know that? Well, we're gonna reveal how he knows that, because right before Major Asshat died from the last episode, she pretty much told Major Asshat, I never thought I was going to mention her again, but here we are. Major Asshat tells Bruegel that you can't trust Armstrong, that he lied about killing Negan and then died. That, I don't know. Like, that part, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know. We'll see how. So, yeah, apparently, as she survived long enough to tell Bruegel, who was searching Central Park for Maggie and the others, all about Armstrong and Negan, Bruegel had kept Major Asshat as a walker in his quarters as evidence before killing her, feeling as though he has no choice yet again. Armstrong will most likely accept Bruegel's offer. God, I hope he. I gotta tell you, man, I hope that Armstrong sticks to his guns and declines, because I would hate to not. Man, I liked Armstrong. I liked Armstrong, but damn, is he going to actually accept Bruegel's offer? I don't know, man. I hope they don't go that direction, but who knows? They fucking might. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. So yeah, so I absolutely loved the normal bear or infected bear. It could be an infected bear. I mean, because like he absolutely destroyed those walkers with no effort. Like holy shit, he just literally just smushed that one walker's head like it was mashed potatoes. Like oh my god, like it was like no effort. And then the whole ordeal about now Bruegel knowing Armstrong's lie, because apparently Major Asshat lived long enough to tell him that information. Like that last part about, oh, Major Asshat living just long enough to give out information. That part, that's a little bit of a stretch. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Other than that, I still really enjoyed the episode. I feel like these last 3 episodes have been Dead City Season 2's strongest. Episodes 4, 5, and 6, I feel like I have enjoyed the most. And by the way, Major Asshat as a walker looks creepy as fuck. Looks absolutely terrifying. She looked like something out of Evil Dead. I was like, holy shit, can we just put her out of her misery already so we don't have to see her? I'm like, oh no, she might be in my nightmares by the time I go to bed. It was just, oh god. Like, holy shit, she looked creepy as a walker. So, yeah. So, can animals turn like normal walkers? I mean, that hasn't really been explained, but like it is a cool idea in theory, which I mean that bear just seemed maybe, I mean it might be possible. Totally I wouldn't totally delete the idea out of your minds. I mean, because like damn, that one bear took out those walkers with no effort. Like I don't know, and he was missing an eye on top of that. Like I don't he kind of had to look like he might be infected, or maybe he just got really fucked up and he's been living this long. So I don't know. It would be interesting. I might ask you guys in a poll: do you think that bear was infected or not, or just a normal bear that was just really pissed off? I don't know, but I enjoyed that part with the bear. Um, I don't. The part about Major Asshat revealing that information about Negan and Armstrong in their final moments. I mean, does that even really matter anymore? Like that, I thought that was a little like I don't know. Did they need to really add that? I don't know, but so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, so yeah, the fact that Negan's story is coming full circle again. He's trying to do the right thing, and he seems more remorseful than ever before for his past. He even sent his family back without seeing them because he doesn't want them to caught in the crossfire and potentially get killed. Ultimately, I do think that was probably the right choice. because with Bruegel out there being an immediate threat, you know, who knows? Bruegel, I wouldn't put it past him to kill them because he already wants to kill Croat and Negan and all of Dama's crew to take Manhattan for himself. So who else wouldn't he slay in his path of power? You got what I'm saying? So I think it was ultimately the right choice, even though it was a hard choice for Negan. So yeah, I other than asshat Luciana, whatever her name is, even despite her sharing that information with Bruegel, I still really enjoyed the episode. I think absolutely Jenny is. I think she's probably going to die the next episode. At least that's my prediction. And I don't know. I seen a little bit of the next episode, and it seems like Maggie and Croat will be maybe teaming up a little bit for maybe to still find Herschel. That's what I'm assuming that is going to be about. Oh, because you know what? Yeah, Herschel is still looking for Dama, and when he finds out that Dama is dead, oh my god, that is going to set him the fuck off. Oh god, that's going to be bad. That's going to be real bad. Oh my god. Oh shit. I have enjoyed this season a whole lot more than season one. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on this episode. So, yeah, if you have seen this episode, let me know your thoughts on it if you would like to. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Absolutely. And what did you think about the bear? Did you think it was just a normal pissed off bear, or do you think it might be an infected bear? I don't. He has signs that maybe he could be infected. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility, I guess. I'm gonna have to ask you guys in a poll on that. I'll be interested to see what y'all think on that. So yeah, I'm going to get my ass to bed because I got to get up and I'm going to go swimming for the first time this year. So this upload, it's going to be sometime on Monday. I can tell you guys definitely that, but I'm going to be gone for, I don't know, a couple hours tomorrow swimming. So I will get to uploading this as soon as I can on Monday. It might be a little bit later than I normally planned, but this upload, it will be uploaded on Monday. That I promise you. So, yeah, that's all I got on this episode. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. And if you're new, welcome on in for the very first time. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.